Meeting room will come to order. We are now holding the 14th meeting of the 52nd Senate on April 30th at 5:30. 5:30 p.m. We will now have Vice President of Information do a roll call with attendance. You just committed in. Let's hyperlink in the minutes where we can type in that URL address at the top there. Ben, how many do we have in attendance? We're just stepping in. Awesome. If we're still stepping in, please go ahead and fill in attendance so we know which departments we're here. Meeting forum, we will continue on with review of the previous minutes. You'll see that hyperlinked in the agenda. Here's a review of the minutes from the 16th of April. Had administrative comments from Dr. Schweller, various reports, standing and special committee chairs. Unfinished pending business, we reviewed GPSG 5207 with organizational name update. And then we passed the annual review of the Constitution and bylaws with the GPSG 5208. In review of the minutes, do we have a motion to approve the minutes as read? Yes. Second, all right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Abstentions. Minutes are approved as read. We will continue on with the reports. Special orders and executive presentation with Erna Peters.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm here. All right, so end of the year report, basically a recap of sort of all the issues we faced in the last year and sort of what we've done for a few of these things. Just in terms of initiatives, I think overarching we had 4 or 5 different school. And maybe kind of with the order that they came up in. So first one was student research equality increase, and advising professional work relationships, the Agri Community, moral commencement, and a few other smaller projects here and there. These are my items, and I partnered with a lot of team on it. So each of them has their own items they were talking about. So it's not like comprehensive, it's all GPSG did in the last team now. So this year, SRW quality was a big one for us this year because when we started off the year, administrators had a large concern about the direction SRW was headed in. And so me, Car, and our research chair, Abby, met with them to sort of hash out what the issues were, address the concerns, and ensure that the SRW that we want to present is still our opinion. It's not influenced by outside parties. So having to play a little bit of politics there to ensure that we maintain control of that next year. And then the next step was to help secure the operational budget. It was good to see that a lot of departments and colleges and the DPR were willing to give us more funding for the next year if we wanted, if we needed it, because that sort of keeps going each year. This year we had about the same number of people as last year, and it was a much higher quality for if you attended it, you would have seen it, I think. And I also hope specifically with post-harvest recruitment and a few arguments here and there. So next one we had was the ad hoc committee. I presented a vote to you guys on this. And I mentioned how the reason I started is because University of Washington was facing some issues with professors who were holding students essentially hostage because of international students and forcing more work out of them. Fortunately, anecdotal instances of that at TAMU are present. I stopped looking into it because there's an issue where I stacked the raw mandatory reports for various things. If I keep looking at this ethical issue, I go reporting, faculty member gets fired, virus PhDs and it's not kind of start over. So it's a large, and I've sort of talked about this previously, but it's, in order to bypass that ethical conundrum, we passed a bill to sort of explore this and how we can help our students protect themselves in the long run. My goal. So I know that committee is going to be presenting findings sometime next semester. We'll see how that goes. Last couple of things, I agree with our community was it's a small group of individuals on the campus, but it's not reflective of the. I don't want to say overwhelming, but there is at least a small substance abuse problem on most campuses in America. Our campus is not an exception, and this is a committee that this is a group that hasn't had the resources historically to do it. So I've worked with SGA and the other parties on campus to get student support and say, hey, this is something that we want to support and give our students, if we need the help, have necessary resources to address substance abuse. And then this one's a long one. I think we started at the end of last semester, and Justice Committee came up with a resolution for it. And since then, it's been talking to lots of administrators about how doctoral students should get their own commencement, and how originally the resolution we passed was all graduate students should have a separate commencement, but that presented some logistical challenges where it can actually reduce the time in a commencement ceremony. It actually increased it because we graduated around 5,000 number that we graduated. So, and that still produces a lot of logistical challenges. And so we decided doctoral students get their own graduation commencement ceremony. And I talked to the provost yesterday. She said it's still going to happen this summer. So fingers crossed. We got to that. And yeah, so one of these things during that process, I was very happy that they took a lot of our ways into consideration, and most of it was reality. So we got to choose when the time was, where we wanted to hold it, things like that. Nobody used to agree that the whole thing we wrote a resolution on just part of it. So give and take, I'm okay with that. A few smaller projects here and there. I wrote the SAGE immigration white paper. So SAGE is the Student Advocacy for Graduate Education and Graduate Degrees. That's a lot of the tier one research institutions around the U.S. So Berkeley, UC San Diego, Washington, large. So I wrote the immigration white paper for them, and that was what we presented in the Hill because they grad students are 30% international. Kind of an interaction for faculty and staff. This was a little bit of a concern after what happened last summer, and when the university met, they sort of had a student representative, but the graduate perspective is not considered at all during those sanctions. So I managed to get us on the faculty and staff version of that. So if God forbid there are any Title IX issues, there's a specific set of guidelines on how to address those and what appropriate sanction for an action are. And then the last bit that I worked with was the major departmental visits. And I think I went to around 12 of them, and some of the common themes that I'd say that was noticing was parking availability and inconsistent stipends, even within the same department and with the same professor in some instances, and lack of department support for GSOs, no GSOs in some cases, and some departments really wanted to meet regularly with administrators, but they were having a hard time finding the form to do that because it administrative too busy or whatever it is. So And then fees, I just had a conversation with one delegate about senator about fees because it's going to continue to be a problem, but hopefully this fixes my experience. And the last one, there's no pay over summer, so sometimes we hear that, hey, it's chief's making 1,500 a month. Sounds reasonable, but then you realize that they don't get paid for summer months, so May, July, they don't get paid. And as a result of that, that 1,500 is actually more like 1,100 a month. So that really cuts down on that, and they start to pay fees on top of that. So that was a real major concern for me that will continue to go forward. And lastly, my giant list of committees. I'm pretty sure I'm just a few here and there, but this is sort of nice and busy a lot. So I represent the rights of the voice and all of these and ensure that our needs are met. And these are, like I said, these are not the only places where we're active. There's a lot of other places that the rest of the ex comments and you guys know as well. All right, that's my report. Any questions, comments?
Zane?
So as Speaker of the Senate, my report would be the business that we accomplished in here, but since that's all the other chairs, I'm not gonna have an additional report, and I'll let them talk so with them.
Danielle?
So mine would be pretty short, but we'll just kind of click through and kind of like look and see like the budget that we did and how much we spent on different events and ideas that we have in the future. So just a glimpse, we see that we received more money from last year. So we had a little over $2,600 to spend throughout the year for the different committees. So this is just kind of a general overview of what was about spent for the different categories in the budget. And so we, when you add it, it's not even like kind of close, but because we did do the name change, we will be having to order new marketing things like a tablecloth or banner. There's different things to kind of get our name out there when we go to the orientations. And so that will also be used with this year's budget. And then so kind of some things that were done, SRW director funding, we did try, we requested and SafeApp is moving it forward as a suggestion to have a permanent partial funding for the GA position because SRW director is a GA, and so we received the funding is half is from OGASH, half is from SafeApp. So hopefully trying to continue that so we can continue with SRW. Just a little brief overview of some of the things that we did. Next year, we are planning to do more activities, and we're going to brainstorm that at our retreat. So we'll have a calendar of events at the beginning of this semester. This is just kind of like a little screenshot of what we've done, but that way it's not like we're all super busy, and so hopefully having events for the semester done at the beginning of the year can be put on the calendar. We don't have a date finalized just yet, but kind of be expecting like the beginning of the next semester for like a brewery night or kind of like a welcome back event to kind of start the year off. So, but that's kind of like our goal. Awards, we are able to grant many awards, and we also requested for more funding. Right now we have about 10,000. We're asking for more, and so it's being, suggested to be added another 5,000 to hopefully be able to award more people the awards to be able to go present what you're researching.
So just a few slides on my report. So they're mostly just numbers. So this is how much representation we have in across the university and all the different departments, interdisciplinary degree plans, and colleges and organizations with a bunch of numbers broken down. We've got really good representation overall. We've got 61 of 98 who could possibly be with us. And on the next slide, I don't have The median number of meetings attended by a department is 10, so that's 80% of our meetings. Here are the departments and colleges who don't have their senator seats filled with enrollment as it's available.
Listen, I'm not storing like sensitive data.
Right.
It's already coded in a way where they can't. It's not useful for them.
And sort of, if you had the option to store in Microsoft, you could store some non-bigger data files on there. Like I'd like the opportunity to do that, so I can share it with other people without worrying about compliance issues. So that's sort of my prerogative, I guess.
I don't want feedback because of the safety and all those privacy issues.
Yeah.
They have simplicity, they have Microsoft, they have everything. But the only thing that you can easily organize is Google Drive. Then you have simplicity on all your other stuff. You end up copying all your files in the local machine, organize them. So I don't see things that can add to the existing system.
Got it.
Gmail and the yes or other segments, those are mine, our talent at media have like personal doesn't talent
Got it. Because the way it was presented was these were compliant. All right, I'll follow up with IT and see. I'll get more specific details. Unfortunately, the document they have is on draft form. I will share it. Yeah, but I just wanted to get your ideas.
So obviously you said that the compliant to use outlet. Is there any way that that is something that I guess what I'm not understanding is I never realized that Microsoft manages their email servers differently than Google. I was not really aware of that. And so I guess my question is there any way that that would be possible with Google, or is that literally just not how their business model works? None of their servers are.
Google is a big cost leader. All the information should be available to anyone. Sure, but when it's inside organization responsible research, I don't want to share that with you. So I'm not sure if they can offer that functionality, but from the meeting, it seemed like they don't have it yet. Right. Any other comments? Feedback? It's not a big deal, and we don't have to say, we can take a stand and say we're against it, we want to stay with the rule, that's also our option we have. So, and this is not a second hobby in the near future, but just wanted to see where it's headed. So, I guess we more, I don't, can you say hobby in the future? They don't. So I suggest sort of like a phase-in model where third students continue to use Google, but you're a brand new student that start like fall of 2020, and you have opportunities. So.
But it's that. But if we don't do something about it, that's why we have issues in the future. We wait for it, that's why we have key problems. People for us to care.
Specifically, the engineering one, because we said okay, and then finding all the students are very not. Because we didn't expect one to be. That's the other path. Thank you for the feedback. I will pass it on, and I think we're meeting again this May, so I can get more details to you guys in August. So, and then the other bit is the veterinary committees. We do need to know those positions. We have a directing director now, and he'll give a presentation in a bit. But SRW is still open, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you're interested in meeting with SRW director, look out for that email sometime in early June. And it's a very rewarding experience because some of the committees that I just sat on that had to go back and organize departmental research and sort of like how much deal has been to organize and for almost 1,200 of this total, judges faculty. So that's what we have. And any other questions before comments, concerns?
Thank you, Vernon. Okay, legislative reports, Danielle.
So, 2 weeks ago, I went to an informational about the Thursday football game. And, I don't know if you're gonna go or not, but I got some information because we won't have a TA before that game since it's the first Thursday of the semester. So I just kind of wanted to go over some information that I found out. And I tried to ask as many questions on behalf of the graduate students. And so I'll tell you what information I received, but we also did get an email the other day. And if you look on the website, it gives you like an interactive map. And there's also a website for an app that I guess is gonna be like pretty live as well on the day of the game for like parking. Because that was my main thing, was where we gonna park if we have to stay late for labs or teaching or whatever it may be. And so this year they learned from their mistakes last year, and there's which was a lot. And so so they are going to make it later secure on certain bots, and then we go into that web the Thursday football game website. It'll show you which bots, so pretty much anything around Kyle Field. They're not going to be letting people in beginning at 3 p.m. But if you're already in there before 3 p.m., you need to be out by 4:30. And kickoff's at 7:30, so they kind of saw that last year not many people were there, so you don't have to make like the kick out time of these parking lots that early. There will be later street closures, so hopefully it won't be as terrible to get around campus. And they kept on emphasizing avoiding bell burn. So that's why I live this school. They said that they are going to consider, if you're the instructor of record, that you are going to consider faculty. Now I get that like each of your departments or your colleges may have something different. They may be like, you have to stay or whatever. But you can like register your license plate, and it will allow you to like I think park in a specific lot, or like there is like one lot that's going to be open all day. It's called Fan Field, and so they're gonna like if you need to be here all day, and they will be having shuttles from Fan Field to different places on campus. Another thing that they're improving on is they're gonna have a shuttle for normal like A&M stuff, and then the shuttle for game day to hopefully alleviate. Because one of the concerns that was said last year was people that weren't going to the game couldn't even get around town or even get to what they needed to on campus. And so they are going to be changing that. And as of right now, there is all-day classes, but it's a professor wants to cancel late hit. They're working with Uber and Lyft, and maybe looking into those via ride, like rideshare bikes, to get discounts like they did last year. And they really are trying to emphasize that we, in our individual like groups, grad associations, we kind of push this information out to our departments, and they're going to be doing like all that they can on like a bigger scale. But if we can individually like go back to our teams and just kind of reiterate that there is this website, so we can kind of pretty much like revert back to the Thursday football game website if there's other questions. But I think they're really trying to like work with it, and then I don't know if it really matters with us that they're pushing the drop date to September 2nd. So then that way, I guess if you are teaching undergrads as well, because you're only going to go to your Tuesday class and not Thursday or whatever, and they're pushing the drop date so you can get a better feel for the course before you make that decision. Were there any questions for me? Yes. September 2nd will be the drop date. I don't know. It was in an email from Strokes, I think, but yeah. We'll link it to the agenda. Any questions for me? Yeah.
Can I make a comment? You guys can get a bunch of emails about that at the start of the semester, and I know a lot of us students don't check it, but please keep an eye on that and push it to your departments a little bit more, just so they're not
Oh, good question. They're, I think, leaving the buildings unlocked because last year there was, like some buildings were supposed to lock and they didn't. So yeah, they're keeping them all unlocked. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Ben.
Okay, registration for next year is open. Don't put your email in there. It's useless to me, and I'm not supposed to have it. So put your email address there. Not your email. And I'm also making a document for new senators. So if you have any feedback on things that you think would be useful for that, send it my way.
Great, thank you. All right, we'll move on to reports of standing and special committee chairs with the advocacy committee. Jess, what do you like?
Thanks. Okay, so, really quickly, I'm gonna briefly go over what the quality of life and advocacy committee has done, really quickly and quick list. So we passed the name policy here at Zane. The ARC resolution had a current, name change for GPSG, which I know we said that last minute, but we got a lot of. Zane and I sat on the student rule 7, both the rules and regulations committee, and we approved and made recommendations for the task force that were accepted by the, faculty senate, so we were there. We have resolution in support of, separate graduation ceremonies, resolution in support of staff lab, use of fees. We've collected a lot of data regarding fees and citizenships, and I heard that was very useful. Although it might have not as planned, but very useful in a meeting with the College of Engineering this past week. So we'll have that, which really kind of gather some more information for speaking points for next year. And then we have been collaborating with Chris, who is on the transportation committee, in terms of routes parking, as well as bus routes that are taking further notice. So there's a little. Next, the graduate student campus climate survey from 2016. It's a little bit. It's finally published and out there for everyone to do. I'm just going to do a quick overview. This was also shared in the GSC meeting that Nicole, Zane, and Kerna were able to sit in on, so they might have a little bit more background information into how that was portrayed in faculty and those in leadership roles. Just to give you a little bit of information about the data, there was only a 12% response rate. So only 12% of the graduate student population responded to this survey. The responses were analyzed collectively, but then also broken down by gender, ethnicity, their degrees, citizenship, and then those people who self-reported they were historically underrepresented, part of a historically underrepresented population. Diversity was a key theme here. That was the same thing in 2012. We watched it flow into 2016, and I believe that it's still an issue. So that's something that next year you guys can focus on in advocacy. There is clearly a disconnect between graduate student perceptions surrounding their commitment to diversity versus undergraduate commitment to diversity, as well as the value of diverse perspectives between graduate and undergraduate students. And I'll talk a little bit more about diversity in this moment. So they were asked to characterize the climate of Texas A&M. About 50%, Brad, one of them is there. About 50% said non-racist, collegial, and non-sexist. And so although it was about 50 to 51%, and that's good, we would like to see that number increase. And so we've already started doing some things. There's some diversity initiatives that have taken place since this 2016 climate survey that will hopefully help those numbers increase. Some of their less favorable characteristics were cooperative, progressive, judgmental, respecting different sexual orientations. Again, cooperative is on there twice. Non-cliquish, and conservative. So we would also like to see some of these numbers, like cooperative, progressive, respectful, increase as well, non-cliquish. So the one thing that I found really interesting, and I know Kurt has been focusing on advisor-advising relationships and what that looks like, and something we can do maybe as a GPSG is understand how we can report incivility, but it was noted in this report that there are weekly, if not daily, encounters of incivility within the classroom, most often to these groups of different races, ethnicity, nationality, gender. Language proficiency was huge. The majority of the population was white and Latino that responded to this study, as well as political and spiritual beliefs and sexual orientation. So I think that is huge, and I think as we continue to focus on diversity in the classroom, this will also change. Additionally, half of the students who took this survey either had a child or adopted a child since they started their graduate program, which is huge. However, they have no clue and they were not offered any kind of accommodations during their citizenship. So of those students who were on citizenship, they were offered no accommodations. That's something that we have been talking about collectively for the last 2 years, and we are working towards what that looks like. Additionally, half of them responded that they don't know how their peers, their faculty advisors, or the staff in their department perceive academic achievements related to being a parent and a student. So collectively as a group, again, we'll come back to some recommendations at the end, but we can do better at promoting what those procedures look like and what Texas A&M offers for students who are also parents. Some positives from the survey was that 60% of students, despite the things that they found, would still recommend Texas A&M to other graduate students. And so this exact number actually increased since 2012, even though their feelings around diversity and inclusion decreased. You'll see that they feel that the people that they work closest with, their academic departments, faculty advisors, and committee chairs, they feel that they're going to be diversity, and that may be because they know them better. However, this number decreased since 2012 from 72% to 60%. So although it's on the positive side, it's still decreasing since 2012. So this is huge, guys. So some recommendations, some of the recommendations that they have here that we can support, and there is a concise document of 34 pages, and there is a much larger document that we're on that will be presented to them to me. But it talks about some of the recommendations surrounding climate issues, especially diversity initiatives. Also cross-cultural organizations that can educate faculty, staff, students surrounding diversity and cross-cultural experiences. Pregnancy and parenting accommodations were another huge thing that they are pushing. Explaining to graduate students what resources are out there in terms of HR, their assistantships, and then also just traditional things that Texas A&M offers any student as a parent. And then the last thing, which is only mentioned here very vaguely, was decreasing sexual misconduct, which I can also get behind that, of course. But they just noted that graduate students typically do not report sexual misconduct. So again, just making them aware of what services the university offers in the reporting process for that. Okay, so I'm gonna leave these with Connor, right? For y'all who are going next year, just think about these as you're going into the summer. These are some really important issues, and now they know what they are. So hopefully they'll use that. I don't know, they might have some different methods. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So are the universities that do very similar surveys? And
Yes.
is there a way to kind of compare to see where we're at? Because another university does a similar survey and they have like 80% that would recommend that universities potentially look at what they're doing, why it has such a high.
Yes. And ours is not here, but she sits on the Vision 2030 committee, and so they look at our peer institutions in terms of fee structures, assistantship structures, and they look at reports such as this to make those comparisons to determine how we can be more competitive. So that was something that committee did.
Their state is trying to do that internally at least amongst the students because this was released in 2016, but we got the data at people like in 2019. So at least for the state schools, we're trying to do that so we can share information much better and find these strengths sooner, and so we can address them sooner.
Thank you, Jess. All right, Brett.
So we have a diversity movement created for all to bring seven organizations to the community that to talk about diversity issues and initiatives. We also had interdisciplinary dinners, one in the fall and one in the spring, which had a participation of about 14 to 20 students. And for the next year, the Commission of Diversity and National Student Affairs Chair will be held by TAMU.
Thank you. Do we have an additional report for legislative affairs for international student affairs? Perfect. All right, we'll move on to the community committee. Angelique. Excellent. We'll just keep going. All right. Research committee, Abby. All right. Ming Ray, where are you at? Oh. Where did you put it?
So mine's pretty short. So I'm going to talk about the travel awards this year. So I haven't finished compiling the ones for summer, but over the course of the year we had 335 applicants in total. This year, at the beginning of the year, we wanted to kind of de-emphasize ourselves as like a money-giving organization. So we stopped advertising after fall. There's a dramatic drop in the number of people that apply. But then after spring, or towards the end of the spring cycles, when we found out that we had a bit more money to spare, and we decided to advertise travel awards again during the summer. And so that's why this looks like this. Well, we had 144 applicants during fall, then 35, 40, and then we ramped up to 115 over the summer. And since we found out towards the late spring cycle that we would have more money, we decided to just give out more awards then. That's why that's 17.5%. And on average, I don't know the total. I don't know the total percentage for winners just yet because I haven't done that yet. But 2017-2018 had 5% rate of being awarded, so it looks like it's going to be a lot higher this year. This is just the money awarded by cycle. At the start of the year, I sent out a survey through the grad housing listserv. I think, yeah, it's been a while. But it basically just asking people when they anticipated themselves going to travel to conferences, and I split the money I give each cycle based off of that. So fall and summer and spring would be higher compared to winter. This is the travel recipients by college, and keep in mind once again that this is before factoring in the ones for summer, which there's 115 over summer, which is going to basically change all of this. And this is comparing, that's last year's, and this is this year's. So liberal arts, these are on the same, engineering state, would have been further down. That stayed the same. But some changes here and there, but otherwise it doesn't look too different. But if you actually break it down by department, it seems like a pretty even split based off of the departments that actually get awarded travel. Yep, that's all I have.
Thank you, Ray. We'll move into special committees. Student research meet. Okay. All right, grad camp director, Connor.
I'm Connor Paget. I'm a PhD student in the Department of Culture Science. I'm the grad camp director for this year. So a couple quick things I want to bring up with y'all. First off, the applications are open. It's at gradcamp.tamu.edu. We are looking for counselors for this year. So really kind of what I'm shooting for, all I most about is we wanted to get a pretty diverse group of students from all majors and colleges if possible. This is only 2 days, guys. Okay, it's only 2 days. It's a really short day. It's like 9 to 4. It's not that hard. I really would appreciate it if you would teach you. So, well, I'm really trying to get a diverse group of students this year because I'm council last year. One of the big things that I noticed is that this is the first opportunity for grad students to come and get introduced to this university, and there are a lot of room for improvement. So I wanted to try and get diverse groups that we can give them a look at kind of their area of campus they're going to be going to, where they're going to be at, how to get them blessing this year, things that are really confusing if you wish we were graduate students starting out. So I would really appreciate it if you apply, but apply to be a counselor to start being able to do that pretty quick. And then also please relay this to your departments as well. We'd like to have as many counselors as possible because we do have quite a bit of student attendance on this, and so we need people to help out. So also I am open to suggestions. If you have anything you wish would have been done if you were gone, or if there's things you wish you knew before, I'll be waiting on the meeting. So if you'd like, to talk to me about that, I'll be happy to take suggestions. All right.
Thank you, Connor. All right, since this is a special committee, we will not have committee meetings this evening, so to that. We don't have any unfinished business or new business. We do have a couple of announcements. You'll see the Young Researchers Conference in Aggieland is June 9th. The registration date is by the 24th of May. If you click on that link, it'll show you some of that information there, where to register at this URL address. So if you're interested in that, please register by the 24th of May. And then the last piece there is a Transformational Teaching and Learning Conference. The dates for that are the 1st and 2nd. So good luck.
The meeting of science, it's also asked us to mention the student faculty dialogue on May 1st through 5.
Great. We'll add that in after.
Yeah, just.
We've got it.
So each year we have people who we're going to say goodbye to because they're hopefully getting ready to graduate. So, and we have to find people who are to take their spots. So a lot of them are new today. I'd like to introduce you guys to certain people you'll be working a lot more with next year. So in terms of officers, I'm still going to be around. You all know Debbie Shannon. Danielle's going to be here as an VPI. Ben's going to be our VPI. And you guys had Cassie and you voted for her, but hopefully last night as well. Cassie was a class at this time, but she'll be here all the time next semester and next year, so you get to meet her more then. And she's going to be our VP of University Affairs. In terms of our committee chairs, we have a couple new committee chairs as well. So I'm going to go down the list from memory. Right. So first, yeah, that's the goal. Awesome, yeah. So if you're a new committee chair, be first and a former committee chair. That way I don't have to think through my committee. Excellent. So going down the list, Lou is going to be our remote chair again, and Anna is going to be our advocacy.
Legislative affairs.
Yes, we changed the names around in the lost right now. Legislative affairs, Connor's going to handle student affairs, and then who else is going to?
With student affairs, quality of life.
Yes.
Well,
And Ruma's going to be handling programming and surveys. Was there another one for that? And recruitment, everything. And Kent's our marketing person. So if y'all have any suggestions or anything, have to not me or directly push them. But you'll be seeing a lot more of it in the coming year. And that's all I'm reading. That's what
Thank you, Verna. All right, before we take a motion to adjourn, we just want to thank you for a great semester and a great year with GPSG. Now, and we hope that going into the summer, with wherever your travels take you, whether you're graduating next week or whether you're coming back to us, we wish you all the best. We hope to see some of you starting in the fall semester. Please eat some of the pizza. The smaller batch is gluten-free. If you need those, and there's some water here. With that, do we have a motion to adjourn? AWAC department, second. Awesome. All those in favor? Opposed? All right. Motion meeting is adjourned. Okay. Go home. Thank you. Nice to
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that.
So it's kind of
Well, next week, right?
Yeah, I really told her.
Well,
So we're having a bit of a break in the summer, but we're all ready to move in. We have problems with our we're probably last year. How we get to meet students. And I know you said you do a lot of reviews, so like manage to like use something to something that's out there. And hopefully some of those that's
oh, for
certain years. Yeah, he used to be coming to summer.